Welcome to the show. Geek Insider presents Into the GeekVerse, the place to get an inside look at movies, comics, games, tech, and everything exciting going on in the GeekVerse. Join Matthew Harris and David King as they take a deeper look at the good, the bad, and the downright terrible things our GeekVerse has to offer. With live chat, geek news, special guests, and lots more. So sit back, relax, and join us for a peek into the GeekVerse.
Hey guys, welcome back to Geek Insiders Into the GeekVerse. You may notice something a little different here. I'm actually in Matthew's place, which is while I have all of his posters and everything in the background here. There's a reason that I'm at Matthew's place. I'm actually here in Texas with Matthew to go see the Fan Expo Dallas this coming weekend. So if you're going there, make sure to check us out, or even go to the Geek Insiders page to be able to check out all the content that we're going to be putting out, and our YouTube channel, TikToks. It's going to be all over social media. You do not want to miss this. But let's talk about the reason that I'm here today. I'm here today because me and Matthew just got out of Spiderman Across the Spiderverse. Now, I wanted to spend some time and tell y'all about my honest review over the movie after I've seen it. So let me just go ahead and say, spoiler alert. Obviously, this is going to contain spoilers of the movie. It's just something that me and him went to go see. And whether you've already seen it and you want to see other people's opinions, or whether you're going to see it, you don't really mind spoilers, you just want to know whether it's worth it, this is the place to be. So let's get started. First, I want to say that there's amazing cameos all throughout it. And I mean, I'm talking about better than the recent Spider-Man movie, where you're getting both the amazing Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man in it, the Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I'm talking about better because not only does this movie star both of those actors as well, you're talking about some of the original cartoons, you're talking about some of the ones from the previous Spider-Verse movie that's been in it, more characters, and in fact, although it's not a cameo, Oscar Isaac, who stars as Spider-Man 2099, is the first actor to star in 3 major roles in Marvel. As that's not where this is majorly leading to, I wanted to drop that little nugget of information, and I want you, if you're watching this, to go to the comments and drop down which 3 major Marvel roles that you know Oscar Isaac has been in. And we will pin the top comment of whoever gets that right. Now, moving on from the cameos, is that's an amazing part of the movie. The plot is very interesting, and it's not exactly where you think you're going to get from the trailer. Now, I bring this up because trailers often, sometimes they show the best right out of the gate to get you enticed, and then you don't have much to follow in the movie, or you do, but it's exactly what you expect it to be, which sometimes can be a little disappointing, especially going to a movie and you're kind of like, I knew it. And sometimes that's exciting. It kind of depends on the viewer, which is why I'm giving you this review. This movie, however, the trailer misleads you. You know, you're kind of thinking what's going on, what could possibly be happening. You're considering anything and everything. With that being said, you have a very interesting plot leading into this, especially because the main character that you're following is kind of like, it's interesting and it's split. Once again, I'm trying to say, like, there's spoilers, but I'm trying to not spoil it too much for you. Now, of course, everyone should know by now, especially because of the trailers and all the advertisement going out to it. Heck, AMC, which is where we went, you could buy popcorn buckets of Miles Morales' head and Spider-Gwen. And the reason why I'm saying that is because she is the other main character that you flop the stories in between. So my point wrapping around that, the trailer doesn't give away what it's going to be like, especially the end, and I'll get to that. That was hilarious in the movie theater. I do highly recommend seeing this in Dolby Cinema if you have one near you, as it really makes the colors pop. It's very immersive, especially the bass and the seat movements. It really has you dive deep into that movie there. Now, there was a very interesting point, and this one's a flat out spoiler. And for every fan out there, especially the ones who have seen the previous Spider-Man, I want to ask you, had you ever considered that he was never supposed to be Spider-Man? And I'm sure some of y'all are out there like, yeah, I knew that. And some of them were like, huh, that makes sense. I'm on the side of, huh, that makes sense. I just enjoyed it. I knew Miles Morales was a Spider-Man and that he's finally getting some screen time. I was really happy for that. But I never realized that he was never supposed to be. This movie elaborates specifically that the spider of Earth 42 was never supposed to be on that planet to begin with, meaning that spider was supposed to bite a Spider-Man in Earth 42's universe. It was never supposed to be transferred. So they left a universe with no Spider-Man to defend it, and instead they gave this Earth's a second Spider-Man, which was Miles Morales. That's a very interesting point because when you think about it, you just think about, they emphasize so much at the beginning, which makes sense now, is that I am the one and only Spider-Man of this Earth, both last movie and this movie. And he's only there, like that Spider-Man. If that spider never came into the universe, that Spider-Man would have never died. Miles Morales would never have become Spider-Man and all that. Because they say Spider-Man would have never died if he didn't need to save Miles Morales. So enough going into that. I'll let your brains wrap around that. Now, I touched bases a little bit about Spider-Gwen. I really like that they didn't drone too much. They split it very evenly, in my opinion. She's a very big character, and we'd love to see more of the screen time of her. And that's exactly what they gave us and the fans wanted in this one. You get to know the story of her, the importance of it, but yet it's not switching up the entire story to focus around her, and you're not lost. Like, it's exactly the measurements that we needed. This was down to a very precise science that they gave us, the fans, what we wanted. Now, with that, animated movies are usually known a very, very successful fighting. However, I'll say that, like, although the fighting was great, I feel like we could have used some more. I think it was focused more on the parkour aspect of Spider-Man, the maneuverability and stuff, which we'll touch bases to here at the end of the video. But as far as just that, I'll kind of leave it at that because it has to do with the end of the movie, which will be the end of this video. At the very beginning, we get this sense of villain, who the villain's going to be, fights that he's having, and it tapers off. Although you still see the villain and stuff like that, it kind of, the antagonist kind of disappears, and it kind of redirects your focus in a different area. Although I really love this, I wanted more closure revolving around the antagonist, but I can understand why they did what they did. Once again, tying into the ending, which you'll hear in a second, because it's not going to be a long video, just a quick review. Now, as for the ending of the video, it ends with a to be continued. Now, I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting this. So I'm sitting there in a theater full of people, and then all of a sudden the screen just hits to be continued. And I'm like, oh man, like as audible as ever for the entire movie theater to hear. It was crazy. And then, of course, my fiance was like, I knew it, and I was just so enticed into it. I was just like waiting for it to continue going on. With that being said, I'm sure y'all probably have guessed some of the things that I've mentioned before in this video, that they didn't create a resolution for the antagonist because it's a to be continued going on. However, when you watch the movie, it's not the type of to be continued that you're expecting. Once again, that plot didn't really follow a normal plot there. Now, this is a movie trend that's actually getting pretty big right now, as part ones, like Mission Impossible is a part 1 too. A lot of movies are going into the variety of movies, like splitting it into it, which is kind of good. You know, they should be rolling them out fairly soon, but it's kind of a lot right now for my taste. Some of the side notes that I wanted to make was Childish Gambino. He goes by multiple names, but he starred in Spider-Man Homecoming. Excuse the dogs. He stars in it, and he tells Peter, you know, he's spider-webbed to the trunk, and Spider-Man's trying to disguise his voice, Tom Holland, and he's like, piece of advice, you got to get better at this part of the job. And a lot of people on the internet called it as he was Uncle, because it said the name, and he was Uncle Aaron. He was the Prowler. In this movie, you finally get to see him. He's officially the Prowler. I'm not going to say in what capacity you get to see him, but you will get to see him. So that is very exciting to be able to do it. Speaking on the point of Prowler, big spoiler, the end, you realize that the Earth 42 that I was mentioning earlier, that I said I was going to circle back to, because that Spider-Man never existed on that planet, Miles Morales never became Spider-Man, he became the Prowler. That's right. His uncle passed down the suit, the Prowler, to him. Now, I'm not going to tell you how we know about that and what ends up happening. You got to watch the movie to check that out. But any of y'all that may have guessed it and everything, as soon as I was mentioning that there was no Spider-Man, kudos for you if you guessed it. Now, that's a bit everything that I have. Make sure to go into the comments and put which 3 major Marvel roles that Oscar Isaac has been in. And I'd just like to thank everybody for watching this. Make sure to check out the channel and keep an eye, as we're going to be at Fan Expo doing giveaways if you're there, and we're going to be interacting with everybody. Super excited for this. With that being said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Oh, that does it for this episode of Into the GeekVerse. If you enjoy our content, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. And if you want to join us live, hit that bell so you never miss a show. Want to catch us on the go? Listen to our podcast on every major platform, but you can catch the real fun on YouTube. Be sure to visit geekinsider.com for tons of great geek content and advertising opportunities. And if you want to stay up to date on all things geeky, sign up for our newsletter. We'll see you next Sunday at 9 p.m. Central. And if you're not here, we might have to revoke your geek card. Have a great week, everyone.